Now that Michael Bloomberg is running for president, he has a lot of strategizing he has to do because nobody likes him. A lot of people don't even know who he is, and he really has next to no chance. So, we had a meeting with his advisors, and they said to him in no uncertain terms, you're out of step with the times at the moment. When you champion stop and frisk as mayor of New York City, everybody knows that that's a bigoted policy. Everybody knows that it doesn't work. And you're going to have to say, I don't believe in that, and I'm sorry, I made a mistake. Now, understand, not only did he defend the policy, he vociferously defended the policy. And he would malign anybody who disagreed with him. And he famously said, if anything, this policy it's not bigoted against the minority communities in the city, it's bigoted against white people. Because a slightly higher percentage than the percentage of whites that commit crime were stopped and frisked. It was still way overwhelmingly minority communities, but it was like slightly higher percentage of whites than the percentage of whites that commit crime. So he said, if anything, it's bigoted against whites. How dare you accuse me of, implementing a terrible policy here? So here's the video of him, knowing that this is a politically untenable position in the year 2019, apologizing in as fake a way as he could possibly do, because I know he doesn't believe what he's saying, but nonetheless, here's his apology.
Over time, I've come to understand something that I long struggled to admit to myself. I got something important wrong. I got something important really wrong. I didn't understand that back then, the full impact that stops were having on the Black and Latino communities. I was totally focused on saving lives, but as we know, good intentions aren't good enough. Now, hindsight is 20/20, but as crime continued to come down as we reduced stops, and as it continued to come down during the next administration, to its credit, I now see that we could and should have acted sooner and acted faster to cut the stops. I wish we had. I'm sorry that we didn't. But I can't change history. However, today, I want you to know that I realized back then I was wrong, and I'm sorry.
That is so pathetic to me. Honestly, I'd have more respect for him if he doubled down on his wrongness. I would. Because this is sheer political calculation. This is, I want to be president. I don't think I can be president if I say the thing I really believe, so I'll just say the opposite. There is the amazing thing watching all these billionaires hop in the race, whether it was Howard Schultz originally, and now he slowly backed out because he was embarrassing himself, Tom Steyer, Michael Bloomberg. So many of these candidates, they are so transparent, guys. They really fundamentally believe in nothing other than calling themselves president. And that's the grossest thing to me. I look at a guy like Bernie. I don't even think Bernie really wants to be president, but I think he feels like he has to be because the country's so destroyed and he knows how to fix it. So he's like, fine, I'll do it. But you look at these other people. Oh my God. Michael Bloomberg. So I just want to give you more information on stop and frisk. According to a report from the Attorney General's office, get this, just 1.5% of all stop and frisk arrests resulted in jail or a prison sentence. 0.1% led to a conviction for a violent crime or possession of a weapon. That is wild. That means 99.9% of stops were fundamentally useless. Because I don't care about if you catch somebody with weed or whatever it might be, let him go. Let him go. That's not a crime to me. They didn't do anything wrong. They're not a danger to society, so on and so forth. You're just bothering somebody who's minding their business. 0.1% led to a conviction for a violent crime or possession of a weapon. 99.9% failure rate. And, by the way, a court ruled 6 years ago, this violates the Fourth Amendment. Because you have a Fourth Amendment protection from unreasonable search and seizure. And it turns out that when a cop randomly selects you on the street and says, let me pat you down, that's an unreasonable search and seizure. That means you are not free in your own city. So, court ruled against it. It violates civil liberties. It violates the Fourth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. And When they scrapped it, crime continued to drop. See, the original claim they made was, oh, it definitely works because crime is dropping as we do our stop and frisks. That's the claim that they made. Well, then when they stopped doing it and crime continued to drop, they had to go, oh. So obviously that wasn't the operative factor that led to the crime dropping. By the way, even if it did technically work and make it go down, which it didn't, but even if it did, it's still unconstitutional. And you shouldn't do it because you can't do it because that's the whole point of having a constitution. It takes things off the table, and something that's off the table is an unreasonable search and seizure, and that's what this is. So Michael Bloomberg he's the worst of the worst. Believes in nothing, just wants to become president, willing to say anything and do anything in order to get into that office. Him and his advisors realize it's politically untenable that I was a champion of stop and frisk. So now I'm going to go out there and grovel and say, please still vote for me. Nobody's going to vote for you anyway, bro. Nobody's going to vote for you anyway. And I'm also waiting. Do the minimum wage next. Go. Let's see. Because his position is just as unpopular on the minimum wage. 80% of the country wants to raise the minimum wage. He doesn't. So please, do the minimum wage next. I'm sorry, I believe in Fight for 15 now. Please, do it. What about big gulps? I'm sorry, I banned soda because I want to be your daddy as mayor. Go, please do that. You should have a smaller size of soda. Why? Because I think you should. So I'm going to make that the law. How about that? I'm going to make it the law. You need a smaller soda. Who does that? Like, you want to talk about, like, giving a bad name. That's like the nanny state Democrat argument that the right uses, and he's just a perfect embodiment of that stereotype. I want to tell you exactly what you can and can't do with your body. That's what I'm going to do. What a weirdo. And by the way, he used to be a Republican, I should say. Ran as a Republican, then became an independent. Now he's becoming a Democrat. Why? You don't agree with the Democratic base on anything. You're not going to fight for Medicare for all. You're not going to fight for free college. He compared Medicare for all to giving everybody a free pony. So you don't agree with us on anything. What are you doing? Guys, he's drunk on his own money. He's like, I'm a billionaire. He really thinks like, oh, I'm a super genius, which is why I have all this money. It is a meritocracy. So I'm a super genius, and everybody's going to defer to my super genius hobbit mind. No, but we're not going to do that, and you don't agree with us on anything, so stop embarrassing yourself. It's hilarious to me that this guy actually jumped in the race. He actually thinks he has a chance. I mean, the only thing that's good about it is the entertainment value and the fact that he's helping split the centrist vote more, which helps Bernie Sanders.